Good morning, students. This is 12th standard botany video class, video 15. In this video, we are going to continue the lesson Asexual and Sexual Reproduction in Plants. Dear students, last video class, we have seen asexual reproduction and its method, vegetative reproduction and its different methods of vegetative reproduction, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction divided into three stages: pre-fertilization events, fertilization events, and post-fertilization events. Then we have seen pre-fertilization structure and events. Under this topic, we have seen male reproductive organ, microsporogenesis, TS of anther, male gametophyte, pollen grain formation, and also female sex organ, structure of gynecium, megasporogenesis, structure of an matured ovule, different types of ovule, and also development of megaspore and female gametophyte. Then we have seen in the last video class fertilization, that is fusion of male gamete with the female gamete form the diploid zygote in angiospermic plant. That is said to be fertilization. How the pollen grains which are reaches into the stigma of the gynecium. What is the reaction between the stigma and the pollen germination? How this pollen grain germinated in the stigma region of the gynecium and how it is passed through the stylar region and enter into the micropylar region of an embryo sac. So this all we have seen in the previous video class. Today in this video we are going to see the post-fertilization structure and events, then apomixis, polyembryony and parthenocopy. Dear students, see the diagram. This is the double fertilization. First one is the structure of gynecium. Gynecium consists of three parts: ovary, style and stigma. Inside the ovary, we are having the ovule. Ovule contains embryo sac. Embryo sac is 7-celled and 8 nuclei structure. In the micropylar region, 3-cell formed egg apparatus. The chalasa region, they are having the 3-cell that is called antipodal cells. At the center, they are having secondary nuclei or polar nuclei. Then, egg apparatus contain egg at the center, which is larger in size. On either side of the egg, they are having the synergids. These synergids only help the pollen grains to liberate the male gametes into the egg or ova. So this is said to be the pollen tube germination and also enter into the embryo sac. Second one, release of sperm cells. See the diagram. This is the ovule. Inner side, they are having the embryo sac. Embryo sac which consists of antipodal, chalasa and polar nuclei. The pollen tube which are landed on the, pollen grain which is landed on the stigma germinated and produce pollen tube with the tube nucleus and 2 male gametes. Along with 2 male gametes only, the pollen tube pass through the stylar region and reaches through the micropylar. From this micropylar, this pollen tube disintegrates and it liberates the 2 male gametes into the synergids. One of the male gamete, see the third diagram, which is fuses to the egg which forms the diploid zygote. Then another male gamete which is fuses with the polar nuclei. See the center diagram. A blue color one is the male gamete. Another one is the pink color which is named as secondary nucleus or polar nucleus, which forms the another fertilization, which is triploid in structure. This fusion is called a triple fusion, which forms endosperm. So, this type of fertilization is called a double fertilization in angiospermic plant. So, dear students, this and all we have already seen in the previous video class. Now, we are going to see the changes after the formation of embryo within the ovule. Dear students, see the diagram which are showing double fertilization or fertilization in angiospermic plant. First one is the pollen grain, which are landed on the stigma, germinated to form a long tubular-like structure is called a pollen tube. So this pollen tube which consists of vegetative tube nucleus. Another one is the two male gametes, that is male nuclei, which is haploid in nature. Another one, ovule. Inside the ovule, they are having the embryo sac. This embryo sac, which consists of chalasa and micropylar region. Micropylar region, they are having the 3 cells. Out of these 3, 1 cell is act as a egg, which is haploid in number, that is n number of chromosome. At the center, they are having 2 nucleus, that is said to be polar nuclei, or secondary nucleus, which is diploid, that is 2n number. When I am coming to the chalasal end, they are having the 3 cell with a nucleus, that is said to be antipodal cells. Each and every one is having the haploid number of chromosomes. Dear students, now the fertilization occur in the angiospermic plant. One of the male gamete, which is fuses to the egg which is present in the micropylar region, which forms diploid zygote. This diploid zygote afterwards developed into a embryo. So this embryo which is developed inside the seed region. The another male gamete which is fuses to the secondary nucleus or polar nuclei, which forms the triploid number of chromosomes, that is n plus 2n, which is 3n. This fusion is called a triple fusion or double fertilization. So this is said to be the primary endosperm nucleus or PEN. What is that one? Second male gamete, which is fuses with the secondary nucleus, which is diploid, form the triploid number of chromosome, that is named as PEN, that is primary endosperm nucleus, or it is named as embryo sac. So this, not embryo sac, endosperm. This endosperm afterwards developed into a embryo inside the seed. This is said to be fertilization in angiosperm. Dear students, double fertilization and triple fusion. This one we already seen in the previous video class. Today, we are also going to recollect the topic once again. Double fertilization is identified by 2 scientists, Navastin and Gignard, in the year 1898 and 1899 in the plant Lilium and Fritillaria. Male gametes releases from the male gametophyte, that is pollen grain, involved in the fertilization. They fertilize the 2 different components of the embryo sac. One of the male gametes fuses with the egg, which is involved in the fertilization. Another male gamete, which is fuses to the secondary nucleus, which is involved for the another fertilization process. So, this fertilization is named as double fertilization. Fusion of one male gamete with the egg. That process is called syngamy. Another male gamete with a secondary nuclei or polar nuclei is called triple fusion. So that process is called double fertilization. First fertilization, which forms the diploid zygote. The second fertilization, which forms the triploid nucleus, which is named as primary endosperm nucleus. Finally, it forms the endosperm. This endosperm is responsible for the nutritive tissue of the growing embryo. So this is said to be the double fertilization and triple fusion. Dear students, see the paragraph. The second gamete migrates to the central cell where it is fuses with the polar nuclei. The fusion is taken place. The secondary nucleus and forms the primary endosperm nucleus, that is said to be PEN. I told you, primary endosperm nucleus. Afterwards, which is modified into endosperm or triple fusion. Dear students, fusion of secondary nuclei with another male gametes to form the three nuclei. This process is called triple fusion. This triple fusion or three nuclei act as the endosperm. This endosperm gives the nutritive substance to the growing embryo. See the diagram. Dear students, first one is the flower. Is the reproductive organ. Contains two important reproductive organ, male and female. Male is said to be the anther and filament. Female is said to be the ovary, style, stigma. Inside the ovary, they are having ovule. Then, the ovule, which is modified into seed. Inside the seed only, we are having the embryo. The growing embryo, which are getting the food material from the endosperm or triploid fusion or three nuclei, which is formed in the double fertilization process. After the formation of embryo inside the ovule, the petal, sepal or withers. That means fall off. Then afterwards, the embryo developed into a fruit. The fruit which contains seed inside. The seed once again germinated and developed into a new plant. That is said to be the developmental stage of angiospermic plant. Dear students, see the diagram, the last one. It's said to be the structure of a seed. This is the dicot seed, which are having two cotyledon, a small slender stalk-like portion which is brown in color named as radicle, and also a small two lateral portion which is green in color, that is called a plumule. So this is the structure of embryo. Dear students, we all remember, often I have drawn the diagram on the blackboard, that is dicot embryo, a plumule, a radicle, and the two enlarged portion in the lateral position is called a cotyledon. The cotyledon which are enclosed by a outermost layer is called a testa. So these are all the different changes which is occur after the fertilization process. So dear students, up to this we have seen double fertilization and triple fusion. Now we are going to see the next event of sexual reproduction. It's said to be post-fertilization changes. That means after the formation of embryo, what are all the changes which is occur in the flower as well as the ovule, fruit, everything we are going to see in the next paragraph. Dear students, the more to know paragraph which are giving certain important points. This box column is very important. Some of the 2-mark questions which are arising from this more to know paragraph. First one, the receptacle becomes fleshy and edible around the float enclosing the seed as in Pyrus and apple. That is, Malus is the binomial name of apple. Dear students, the receptacle, what is the receptacle? Where the floral parts are attached. Imagine if you are taking a rose flower, if you are removed all the petals and pollen grains, that is androecium, which is present at the center, you can able to see a small slender stalk-like portion at the tip. They are having the oval shaped or disc shaped structure. ஒரு காம்பு மாதிரி இருக்கும், அதோட டிப்பில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தட்டையாக ஒரு ஷேப் இருக்கும். That is said to be the receptacle region. So this receptacle only which is modified into edible part of some plants such as Pyrus and Malus. So this receptacle which is edible enclose the seed. ஆப்பிள் பார்த்துருப்பீங்க, ஆப்பிளை கட் பண்ணும்போது சென்டரில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா the seeds are present at the middle region. Then the lateral fleshy edible part, நம்ம சாப்பிட்றோம் இல்லையா ஆப்பிள், that is said to be the receptacle region which is modified into edible part, that is eatable part in apple and Pyrus. Another one, the calyx may persist in Solanum melongena and also which is larger in size, or it may cover the fruit in Physalis minima. So dear students, have you all seen the brinjal, katrika? The color of the brinjal is violet in color. At the base, we can able to see that the green color part is called a calyx. In some of the plants, the fruit which are having calyx, that is said to be persistent. நிலையா இருக்கு. Most probably, after the fertilization process, the sepal and petals are destroyed or withering or disintegrate. பூலேருந்து கீழே விழுந்துரும். But some of the plants, the fruit which contains the calyx, example Solanum melongena, and another plant is called Physalis minima. The fruits are covered with the calyx. See the diagram, it's given here. Physalis, that orange color is the fruit. The fruit are enclosed by a calyx which is yellow in color. That is said to be persistent calyx. Next one, Anacardium occidental. That means cashew nut, mundri parpoda binomial name da Anacardium occidental. Here, in this fruit, which one is the edible part or eatable part means pedicel. What is the pedicel? Stalk of a flower. That is said to be pedicel. And the poo காம்பு இருக்கு இல்லையா, that one only which is modified into edible part in Anacardium. So that's why they given here the important points here. The flower stalk or axis below the gynoecium enlarges into a juicy pear-shaped body which is edible in Anacardium. Pear-shaped இருக்கு இல்லையா, which is red in color, pear-shaped. What is that one? The stalk of a flower. பூவோட காம்பு தான் which stores the food material, and the shape may be modified into pear shape which is edible. Example, Anacardium occidental. Then the perianth becomes fleshy as in the jackfruit. So what is the perianth? Either calyx or corolla is absent, or both which are modified into another structure is called perianth. In jackfruit, பலாப்பழத்தில், which one is the edible fruit? நம்ம பலாசோலை அப்படி நம்ம சாப்பிட்றோம் இல்லையா, that is said to be, what is that உங்களுக்கு? Modified form of perianth which stores the sweety edible food material. That is said to be the perianth in jackfruit. Another one, it's said to be the caruncle. So what is caruncle? Means in Ricinus communis, ஆமணக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, முத்துக்கொட்டை அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ we are getting castor seed, castor oil அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, விளக்கெண்ணெய் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா. That is said to be the castor oil which you are getting from the plant. It's said to be Ricinus communis. You have already seen the entire description of a Ricinus communis in the previous year. It belongs to the family Euphorbiaceae. See the diagram. The cells present at the tip of the outer integument around the micropyle developed into a fleshy structure called caruncle. Dear students, this is the fruit. At the tip of the fruit, we are having the micropylar region. This micropylar region which develops the fleshy part around the micropylar region, that is called a caruncle. Example, Ricinus communis. Dear students, what is caruncle is the important 2-mark question. The outermost layer of the fruit region, the micropylar region which are modified into fleshy structure is called a caruncle. Example, Ricinus communis. So what is that one? This is the outer integument, that means layer. This is the seed in சொல்லலாம். The seed which is present inside the fruit only. The outermost layer of the ovule, it's said to be the integument, isn't it? This integument which is modified into seed coat. Here, this is the seed coat. The outermost integument near the micropylar region which is modified into fleshy structure is called a caruncle. Example, Ricinus communis. Another one, aerial. So what is aerial? The funicle. What is the funicle? Stalk of a ovule. That is said to be funicle, which is modified into fleshy structure, and also it's look like very colorful and is called aerial. Example, Myristica and Pithecellobium. See the diagram. These are all the Myristica and Pithecellobium. Pithecellobium அப்படின்னா கொடுக்காப்புளி அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம், கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? அதுதான் பித்தசெலோபியம் அப்படின்றது. அனதர் ஒன் மிரிஸ்டிகா அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா, அதாவது பிள்ளையாருக்கு கண்ணு வைப்பாங்க பார்த்தீங்களா, ஒரு ரெட் கலரில் இருக்கும். தட் இஸ் செட் டு பி மிரிஸ்டிகா பிளான்ட்டு. இன் தீஸ் பிளான்ட் the funicle, what is the funicle? Stalk of a ovule which is modified into fleshy structure. Often it's look like very colorful. That is called aerial. Aerial is also important 2-mark question. Example, Myristica and Pithecellobium. Next one, perisperm. What is perisperm is the book back question. The nucellar tissue, where is the nucellar tissue is present? Inside the ovule. It is a nutritive tissue. It's giving food material to the growing embryo sac. Okay. So this nucellar tissue is either absorbed completely by the developing embryo sac and embryo, or small portion may remain as a storage tissue. Thus, the remnant of nucellar tissue in the seed is called perisperm. So, nucellar tissue which are giving the food material to the growing embryo sac, and also what is that one? Embryo. So, most probably the embryo which are nourishing all the food material which is present in the nucellus tissue, but sometimes in some plants they are leaving certain amount of nucellar tissue region in the seed. That is called perisperm. Example, black pepper and beetroot. So these two are the example of perisperm. Dear students, these are all the very important 2-mark question. What is caruncle? What is aerial? And also what is perisperm? Then remaining and all, it will come for the 1 mark question. So kindly note it down in your textbook. Dear students, next we are going to see the post-fertilization structure and events. So the after fertilization, the floral parts such as calyx, corolla, antecium and gynoecium, which are modified into different form. Inside the ovary, we are having the ovule. Ovule is also modified into different form. So the ovary of the gynoecium is also modified into another one. So these are all the post-fertilization changes which is occur in the flower. Dear students, after fertilization, the endosperm which is present inside the seed, embryo which is present inside the seed, that is the development of embryo, afterwards modified into formation of seed which is present inside the fruit. So these changes are occur after the fertilization process, that is after the formation of diploid zygote. Okay, so that changes are named as post-fertilization changes. Fertilizationக்கு முன்னாடி நடந்தா earlier நடந்தா that is said to be pre-fertilization changes. Changes which occur in the after fertilization, that is said to be post-fertilization changes. Here students, now we are going to see the post-fertilization changes in the floral parts. Which parts modified into what form? It's given in the table column. Dear students, see the table column. First column is parts before fertilization. Second one, after fertilization, what all the changes are occur in the floral parts. First one, sepal, petal, stamen, style and stigma. Everything fall off from the floral parts and wither. Floral parts என்ன பண்ணிடும், கீழே உதிர்ந்து கீழே விழுந்துரும். Second one, ovary part of the gynoecium which is modified into fruit. Dear students, have you remember that one? In 10th standard, you are having one mark question. Dash part of the gynoecium is modified into fruit. That is said to be ovary. So in gynoecium, the basal portion which is oval shaped, it's said to be the ovary. This ovary only afterwards modified into, what is that one? Fruit. Then inside the ovary, they are having the ovules. These ovules are modified into seed. Then the egg which is present inside the ovule modified into zygote. How it is formed the zygote? Fusion with the male gametes to form the diploid zygote. Then funicle. What is a funicle? Stalk of the ovule, isn't it? Which is modified into stalk of a seed. Then micropyle of the ovule region, which is modified into micropyle of the seed. Now only we have seen what is caruncle in Resinus communis, the outermost integument of the seed having the micropylar region. That micropylar region, the shape of the micropyle region which is modified into fleshy structure is called, what is that one? Caruncle. So the micropyle of ovule is modified into micropyle of the seed. With the help of this micropyle only, the seed which are taking oxygen for respiratory process and water. Next one, nucellus. What is a nucellus? Nutritive tissue of the embryo sac and embryo which is modified into perisperm. What is a perisperm? Normally you have seen the 2 mark question. In most probably in all the plants, the nucellus is fully nourished by the growing embryo sac and embryo. But in some plants, they are leaving a small nucellar tissue in the seed region. That is said to be the perisperm. Next one, outer integument of the ovule. Ovule is surrounded by how many layers? 2 integument, isn't it? So the outermost layer which is modified into outer coat of the seed, that is called testa. Another one, inner integument which is modified into inner side of the seed coat, named as tegmen. Then the synergids of the egg apparatus are disintegrate or degenerate, destroyed. The secondary nucleus or polar nucleus, which is present at the center, modified into what form? Endosperm are modified. What is the advantage of endosperm? It is a nutritive tissue for growing embryo or a seed. Last one, antipodal cells, which is present in the Chalasa region, is degenerate. So these are all the different changes which is occur after the fertilization process, that is said to be post-fertilization process in the floral pods. Dear students, up to this we have seen what is double fertilization and triple fusion. Then post-fertilization changes in the floral pods. Dear students, I hope you all understood what I taught in the video class. Remaining we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best, children.